here as part of Indian Union. And even some of these others, in some point of time, toyed with the idea of constitution and then this thing. These are very dangerous trends among the, particularly among the regional parties. So they are more inclined to aggrandize political powers for. So if we can establish a separate state, we can have a separate affair. We get the unquestioned crown of the king, and the legacy can be given for the rest of the members of the family. So that is not a desirable proposition. That will not help us in ensuring the unity and integrity of the country. So it is in this context you have to read the provisions. Why center has been given overriding powers? Why there is centralization powers and all that? Now another thing is that our history is replete with such examples of divisive forces at work within and beyond the territories. This is another thing. Not only within India, even beyond the territory of India. We are now, every day we are now seeing the new word expression, deep state. So there are elements within the country who are colluding with the deep state from beyond the country, people like Soros and all that. You read the paper and you will get the idea. How to destroy Indian democracy, how to block the prosperity and progress of India that we are making. So there is a very dangerous proposition where we have to look into the rationale for having a more strong center. Now friends, our history is replete with such examples demonstrating that divisive forces are what both within and beyond the boundaries of India, threatening the unity, stability and prosperity of India. Therefore, I am sure that if you look at the federal provisions in the light of the preamble and the contemporary socio-economic realities, there will emerge a new horizon of federalism, where you will realize that the so-called unitary features projected as unfederal by the critics to challenge the federal character of the Constitution will appear to you only as features of unity and not unitary features. I am sure that by the end of this discussion, you may accept unhesitatingly that the Constitution of India is federal, establishing a flexible federation with a strong center, capable of safeguarding the unity and integrity of the country, even while we respecting and accommodating the federal diversities and the consequential federal rights of the constituent states for self-governance and self-expression. Unity in diversity is a philosophical principle which runs through the entire fabric of Indian federalism, which is yet another manifestation of the synthetic genius of the Indian mind, which is capable of synthesizing seemingly opposing and competing ideals and values. You can find the manifestation of this philosophy of golden rule, our philosophy of the synthesis, in many parts of the Constitution. We have synthesized and integrated a parliamentary form of government with doctrine judicial review. We have structured a federal system where unity and diversity will be perfectly possible. We have guaranteed fundamental freedoms, but balanced against the social interest. We have provided for equality code from 1450, but we have provided for social justice provisions in the Constitution. So seemingly opposing theoretical propositions were beautifully synthesized and synchronized in the Indian Constitution, which manifests the synthetic genius of Indian mind from Vedic period onwards till it continues. Now, after all, the preamble are pledged to assure the unity of the nation and the resolve of our national leaders to defend the unity of India with the last drop of blood comes to us as a natural extension of our cultural heritage. Right from the Vedic period, Vedic scriptures, we have been taught by our rishis that we should be ready to throw away even heaven for the sake of our mother and motherland. Janani Dhanmabhumincha Sargavadri Geriyasi. So we should be prepared to throw away even if heaven is offered to you. No, you will not really throw away for the sake of mother and motherland. This is our culture and civilizational trait. Don't mortgage it away. Don't lose it. And friends, there are darkness all around, especially during the current political situations that prevail in the country. There are neighbors who are jealous of our progress and developments. There are restless people who are waiting for political power, who are prone to do anything for their own satisfying their own greed for power, even if it is a question of destroying or painting a black picture of India in the other state, other capitals of the countries. People are going to European countries in America and saying that look at Indian democracy dying. India, you please, why are you sitting here? Go into India and interfere. Our leaders are going there and shamelessly speaking this. Such elements are there. Then there are people like Sam Mikroda or Soros. I don't mind to mention their names. Deep state, who are trying to influence even Indian elections insidiously. You are reading the newspaper and watching the revelations that are coming out now. So this is the situation in which we live. And therefore, friends, we are not here to curse darkness, but to light the candle that can guide through the darkness to a safe and sane future. The future that holds out the promise of unity and security of the nation and the progress and prosperity of our people. As Winston Churchill has once said, if we open a quarrel between the present and the past, we shall be in danger of losing our future. Our future is envisioned, our destiny is envisioned in the preamble. That will inspire you, that will ignite the flame in you, and that holds out the promise. But any promise can be realized only through conscious efforts. You, the young students, are the custodians of the Constitution, the defenders of our democracy, and the unity and integrity of the country. Justice Leonard and in America once said, eternal vigilance is the price of civil liberty. I would add that eternal vigilance on your part is the price of our constitutional democracy and constitutional federalism. And if you fail, the nation will fail. The constitution will fail. All the dreams with which the constitution was made by the great leaders will be shattered. Don't allow that to happen. It is your responsibility. And with that request, appeal, and I wish you all the very best in your studies and your career. With great people like the principal, the great judges. So I wish you a bright future and wish you all a good life in this college and thereafter. Thank you very much. Now, before I take my seat, with the permission of the principal, I am prepared to hold the mic for a few more minutes. If you have got any question to ask, if you have got any doubt to seek clarification, or if you have got any point against any points that I have made. Because as a teacher, I always believe that I should not run away after inflicting on you a torrential speech. I cannot hide behind formalities. So, to ask questions is not only your privilege, but it is your right to talk. That's our history. So, I believe in that. I believe in securing intellectual freedom for everyone. Simply because a special guest here and don't solve it like that. So, even in Bhagavad Gita, after teaching Arjuna to confuse the mind, whether to take up the Gandhivam and fight for the Dharma. Through 18 chapters, he taught everything that was possible to Arjuna. Then finally he said that all that I know, I passed on to you. I told you everything at my disposal. Now, don't blindly follow me. You critically analyze. Critically analyze every word that I told you. Then you act according to your sense of right and wrong. This is the kind of intellectual freedom. There is no question of commandments in our culture. Nobody is expected to accept any command without questioning. Questioning is the foundation on this Indian culture stands in the world. So I believe in that philosophy. That is why I thought that I am prepared to take some of your questions if you have got any questions. Normally in every campus I feel I have this experience. The students know they are very intelligent, they are well read, but some diffidence because of which they may not. Even if you don't worry about if you want to ask any question in Tamil, I can understand Tamil. Even I can speak Tamil, but I love Tamil as you. Therefore, I don't want to do in violence their language. that is what.
Sir, thank you for your lecture, sir. Now, what I feel as the day progresses, the union is encroaching into the federalism, slowly turning into a. There is a word that contributed federalism, cooperational federalism. Those things are going to extinct. We asked for the recent law on GST, the fiscal capability of the state. It is blindly taken away. Now the state has to, or the federal unit has to depend on center for their fiscal requirement. Similarly, there are so many, like education. The topic was, the subject was taken away from the state list and it was taken to
only Indian citizens. Even the single citizen in this country is suffering out of poverty, hunger, without any financial resources, any material resources. Even a single man is starving. Let us annihilate the entire world. Then how do you say? It is not possible. It is not real. And if there is any law passed by the Parliament against the federal provision, there is a remedy. Even recently, some states have gone to Supreme Court on 31 regarding the taxing powers of the mineral wealth there. Supreme Court gave a verdict in favor of similarly lottery. Supreme Court gave a verdict in favor of the states. So we are not constitutional anarchy. It's a perfect constitutional system. For everything there is an answer. There is an institution. There is appropriate powers. So I don't think there is any reason for doubting the conversion of Indian federalism into a unitary state. See, you cannot look into the American Constitution and claim the same kind of right in that state here. Americans have made their constitution to solve the Americans' problems, not for solving Indian problems. The Australians and the Canadians have their constitutions for solving their problems, not Indian constitution. India has made a federal constitution not to solve the problems of Americans or Canadians or Australians, for solving the problems of India. So look at the Indian constitution as a provision. Whatever provision is there, it is the constitution. Simply because you love to have more powers, you cannot agitate. Within the four walls of the constitution, within the area earmarked to your constitution, stick to that constitutional limits. We have a remedy. Many times does it do, except during the emergency in 1975, no government could authoritatively act. So there is proper and sufficient constitutional checks that will prevent any conversion from a democracy to autocracy or from federal to unitary. That doubt or the suspicion is misplaced and it is critical. Anybody else?
Sir, girl side. Somebody. Girl side.
Please. Sir. Don't hesitate. I am only a teacher. Though here is a guest at all, I don't feel that as a guest at all here.
Going through along Keynes paper, Keynes and India, and you know how Ambedkar and Keynes were logicians talking about gold standard politics. Second point, I do have my own recent deep-seated difference of opinion on each and every issue that you have made here from one point of view. There you are right. It has got two sides. You are objectively, passionately, to some extent dispassionately, quoting Gita and other Vedas, explained and expounded beautifully about the need for unity and integrity of this country from a particular perspective. Well done. No quarrel, nothing. And I am also not here to go into elaborate things. And I don't want to enter into any argument. I want only supplement. Whatever I want to argue, I will argue that. Indeed, I will give in counter to you that in Pune, local institute, not here. Just listen for 2 minutes. I will tell you only something from Ambedkar. Before that, let me just give answer to one very interesting, good point that you raised. That is the only interesting point that I got from the lecture. Too much of centralization of power, too much of centralization of center. What is the reason why? I think my friend, Mr. Nagaram, who has read a lot of things on Karl Marx, will be the right person, but he is unusually keeping quiet because he wants to save some time. This is simply due to the rightistic economic philosophy ruling all over the world. Modi's India is not an exception to that. Even if Congress will be doing that. Indeed, Modi must be thankful to Congress party for having done everything that they wanted. And now they are doing something as if they are doing something against Congress, but it is only the Congress party which has done all the foundation work in 1991, Manmohan's fiscal economic revolution. Again, I told you, I don't want to go into all this. No, I'm just telling. I'm just telling. Too much of centralization because of the rightist influence and the leftist movement has unfortunately failed following the disintegration of Soviet Union. But this is not the end of the story. Ambedkar will not die. Karl Marx will not die. Leftist movement will not die. But it will take more time. 50 years, 100 years, 200 years, we don't know. Third point. Two important sentences from Ambedkar's work. The last one I have been reading, Ambedkar is not a cup of tea. International finance is a cup of tea. Two sentences Ambedkar makes. There is huge amount of defense expenditure, but 1920s, huge amount of defense expenditure that must be reduced drastically to divert it to health, education, water supply. You are a serious professor. Every word I listen to you. I don't know how. Slightly I slept for a few seconds because I am getting aged. Every sentence I listen and I again read this. And perhaps I will interact with you later after 2 months. Please note, sir, education privatized, health privatized, water is privatized. We are living in a stupid economy, 75 years. Please note, I am least the politicized individual. Again, I am making, we are living in a stupid economy where water, education, health, we are in a serious crisis, sir. You are talking about unity integrated the country. I do agree. Yes, we have to serve God. I remember Adam's with of nations. But these three are also equally important. So now when you look at the world economy today, we are now trading in machines, ammunitions, military warfare that is sustaining the employment market in many countries. In America will supply to Ukraine. Tell the fellow, come on, you give all the resources to us. Russia will create problem. USA will be friend to Russia. There's a tremendous interesting geopolitics today. This is the main villain.
When the wars are commercialized.
Yes, sir, this is the main villain. One more sentence I wanted to tell about Ambedkar. I'm talking only Ambedkar. Someone is not speaking here. Ambedkar says in one context, one sentence, as far as possible. State must draw from their own resources. I think somebody told something. And you were talking about civil war. I am also thinking about some other civil war. But developed states will create more problem. But I already told you I don't want to argue today. As far as possible, state must derive from their own resources without depending on others. He does not say that without depending upon other state or center. Sir, last sentence. We have now reached a stage where Finance Commission is politicized, Planning Commission has disappeared, rightist philosophy is ruling, Karl Marx is ridiculed, poor people are ridiculed, and there are a lot of things taking place which you have conveniently ignored, and I also want to forget that. Thank you.
It is not a question of conveniently forgetting. So everything has to be contextualized. So if it is a political debate, that's a totally different trajectory. I would have engaged into that discussion and dialogue. But this is not a political subject. The audience is not a political audience, and the occasion does not, because this is, the very limited scope also only is there. So Dr. Ambedkar's contribution in the constitution and also from the perspective of the federal system, and it should be educated for the students. And these political controversies, doctrines, or the Karl Marx, or the economic policies the world over, or the capitalist economy. Of course, it is very nice to live in the dreams about but we have to also address the questions in reality, in perspective. So, politics also is an art of possible things, and we cannot always live in, ideological islands. So, when we come down from those heaven of dreams to the ground realities, some things are different, and every government has done their bit for the betterment of this country, and also some of the regimes done deliberately for the betterment of themselves and their family. So it is up to the wisdom of the people who should govern them. That is the duty of democracy. So whether it is central government is ruled by politics, that is the will of the people. That you cannot talk about democracy and its grandiose goals and this thing, and then when somebody is elected or some government is formed, then we cannot condemn the jobs. Then you have to respect the will of the people. We, the people of India, as devised this constitution, because it's a mythical statement, I agree. But still, it conveys a message. So, any government, whether it is the Tamil Nadu or Puducherry or anywhere in the state or the union government, it is left to the will of the people. And in exercise of their will, when they elect a government, then they choose a leader or choose a government, then that is the system. That way, in every way. But Donald Trump has become. So, now people don't know what to do. So these things are there. But when you believe in democracy, then we have to go by the fundamental assumptions and principles of democracy. And economic policies, there is nothing is frozen at a particular point of history. Karl Marx had a dream. It has got a history. It has got a historical background, a philosophical implications of which. But how long? How many centuries? Ideologies will change. Ideas change. Because what is important is the hard facts which stare at you. Then whether you must go by that or you must cling to that ideological, doctrines or a priori assumptions and principles, that's a difficult choice. And I understand your anxiety, your,
I have quoted from Times of India and Economic Times.
Karl Marx
will not die.
But
That is not right.
I think whether time proves or the people in future decides to bring back Karl Marx and his policies, we will accept it in the name of democracy. Let it come. Nobody is afraid of Ambedkar or Karl Marx. Welcome Karl Marx, come to India and establish your regime if possible. But will of the people. We the people of India. Don't forget it. And respect the will of the people. Karl Marx or Mahatma Gandhi or Ambedkar or Narendra Modi, no problem. Give it to the freedom to the people. So we cannot individually sit in judgment over the wisdom of the people. Then we are undemocratic. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. First of all, I would like to especially thank you for choosing this topic, as I felt it is the most wanted topic at this point of juncture in a democratic country like India. And thank you for enlightening the students on various aspects of federalism, especially through the visions of Dr. Ambedkar. And I would also like to thank you for highlighting the most enshrined two values of preamble, as you rightly said, one being the dignity of an individual and other being the unity and integrity of the nation. Thank you very much, sir, on behalf of Dr. Ambedkar, Government Law College, Puducherry. And I now request our principal, sir, to give the letter of appreciation to our esteemed chief guest. Thank you, sir. Now it's the time to hear the feedbacks from our dear students. I now call upon Sarasa from first year LLB, to kindly give her feedback on today's session.
Happy morning to one and all present here. Now I deliver the feedback about this lecture. The Professor Dr. K. Vikraman Nair sir explained the federalism concepts and various definitions clearly with helpful examples. The Professor sir explained the articles 131, 249, 352 and 356 and also interestingly told that the governor's role, state, union and independent judiciary. It would be helpful to connect the lecture content to real world applications more often. Professor sir, your lectures are precise, concise and detailed. I really appreciate the interactive activity that allowed us to ask questions and gave answers in satisfactory manner. Thank you.
I now call upon Maharani from third year BA LLB to give her feedback.
A very happy morning to everyone. It is my great honor and privilege to extend a heartfelt vote of thanks on this seminar session. Firstly, I express my deepest gratitude to our esteemed chief guest, Dr. Vikraman Nair sir and MLA Kalyanam Sundaram sir for gracing this event with your presence. Your inspiring words and valuable insights on federalism have truly encouraged us. Also, thanks to our principal sir and faculties and support staff who have made this event a success. Your efforts and dedications are truly appreciated. Lastly, thank each one of us for your active participation. We hope this seminar has provided valuable knowledge and inspiration for further discussion on constitutional law. Thank you all once again, and we look forward to more such enriching gathering in future. Have a great day.
Thank you all. I now invite Dr. Jayarani, Assistant Professor, Dr. Ambedkar Government Law College, Puducherry, to give a brief report on today's program and also propose a vote of thanks.
Very good afternoon to one and all present here. Respected dignitaries, distinguished guests, faculty members, and my dear students, it is with great honor and immense gratitude that I stand before you to deliver the report and also the vote of thanks. Dr. Ambedkar Government Law College successfully organized the Dr. Ambedkar Memorial Lecture for the academic year 2024 to 25 on this day in our college. This event centered on the theme Federalism under the Indian Constitution, the views and vision of Dr. Ambedkar. Featured by our eminent speaker, a professor, and we also engaged our students in a thoughtful and provoking discussion on constitutional principles. The program commenced with an invocation by our chief guest and also by our students, and also a lighting of lamp was done by our chief guest and also the other guests. Our principal delivered the welcome address, extending a warm greetings to the esteemed guests, faculties, and also the students. The distinguished guests were honored by our professors and also by our principal. Our MLA PML Kalyanam Sundaram sir delivered the special address and also he shared the efforts which the college has also done and also the principal who has acted on behalf of this college has done to this college and also the future prospects of this college. Mrs. Naomi Ma'am, Assistant Professor, Dr. Ambedkar Government Law College, introduced the keynote speaker, Professor Dr. K. Vikraman Nair sir, former Professor and Director, School of Indian Legal Thought, MG University, Kottayam, Kerala. The much anticipated lecture session was commenced and a professor delivered an insightful address on federalism under the Indian Constitution, the views and vision of Dr. Ambedkar. Professor elaborated on Dr. Ambedkar's perspectives on cooperative federalism, the balance of power between the center and states, and the practical implications of federal principles of governance. Professor's lecture was deeply engaging and thought-provoking, providing a historical and analytical perspective on this subject. Then we had a very interesting question and answer session. And where sir has said, தனி மனிதனுக்கு உணவில்லை என்றார், இந்த ஜெகத்தை அழித்திடுவோம். அந்த மேற்கோள் பாரதியாரின் மேற்கோளை காட்டி அவர் அதற்கு பதில் அளித்தவையும் சற்று நன்றாகவே இருந்தது. So thank you sir for that. So the event was efficiently coordinated by our professor Mrs. Raj Satya ma'am, assistant professor, who served as the master of ceremonies. So I would also like to propose a vote of thanks for this event. So at the outset, I extend my heartfelt appreciation to our professor Dr. K. Vikraman Nayak, former professor, director, School of Indian Legal Thought, NG University, Kottayam, Kerala, for delivering such an insightful lecture on the topic federalism under the Indian Constitution, the views and vision of Dr. Ambedkar. Professor's deep understanding and scholarly analysis have truly enlightened us on the nuances of Indian federalism, the vision of Dr. Ambedkar, and the ongoing debates surrounding our constitutional framework. We are deeply grateful to our esteemed principal, whose dedication and leadership continue to elevate the academic excellence of this institution. Sir's unwavering support in organizing such intellectually enriching event is truly commendable. A special thanks to our distinguished faculty members who constantly inspire and guide our students, ensuring that they grasp the depth and complexity of constitutional law and governance. I would also like to express my sincere appreciation to the organizing committee, administrative staff, and all those who have worked tirelessly behind the scenes to make this event a grand success. To our dear students, your enthusiasm, curiosity, and engagement on what makes event like this meaningful. Your presence and active participation reaffirm our commitment to academic discourse and critical thinking. Finally, heartfelt thanks to all our esteemed guests and attendees. Your support and keen interest in today's discussion are a testament to the enduring relevance of Dr. Ambedkar's contribution to our constitutional framework. As we conclude this lecture, let us carry forward the wisdom shared today and continue to engage in a meaningful discussions that uphold the values of democracy, justice, and unity as envisioned by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Thank you one and all. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much, ma'am. As we have come to the end of this program, I now request everyone to rise for national anthem.
पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलसि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष माहे गावे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगल नायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
I now request the students to kindly